The only shade I'm giving is the shade coming from my halo. Not all bears eat berries and fish. I prefer a diet of bourbon and bad behavior. Hello! I'm Hunter Harden.
And I'm Papa the Bear.
And welcome to the Real Housebears. Woo! The real hot bears of podcasting.
Yes.
Love you guys so great. I love it so much. Salmonella, everybody, salmonella. I just went to Ireland. That means good health. I think it's salmonella. It's salmon, saliva, something with an S.
I love that.
Cheers, cilantro, Sláinte. Hey everyone, salami.
Last week, my Jen Fessler was terrible because I just did it last second and I thought it'd be funny. And then once I started, I was like, I don't know what to do this.
I think it just went a little bit long. I think
This just sucked,
edited
yeah.
it a little bit, it'd been great.
Yeah, it would have been all right.
great.
I just was, I was eager to do
I like
Jen Fessler,
I like
but
her
I needed to do Melissa being drunk. Oh yeah, hold on. Woo! Take your shirt off. Go ahead, take your shirt off. It'll be fun. Come on.
Not gonna be fun for people watching at home.
Joe won't care. You're bigger than him.
I love how horny Melissa gets when she's drunk.
I know, me too.
Well, let's get to that in a minute. But before we get into that, let's talk about the New Jersey reunion filmed this week. And it has been all over the internet about what a contentious reunion it is.
You said that even Andy Cohen was like over Teresa.
Yeah, Andy said that he didn't yell at her, but he went off on her like he never has before. I don't know exactly what that means.
Let me hear
He
it.
said he almost literally walked off the set at one point. And he said that afterwards he immediately had down like 2 tequila drinks.
Ooh.
And then he just sent an email to the producers telling him his thoughts and, from what I understood, like his suggestions.
Ooh. I can't wait to watch it.
I know. He said that Melissa and Teresa just hate each other so much.
I mean, if I was Melissa, I would hate her too.
And then I also hear that Margaret and Jennifer Aiden made up.
It's shocking.
Yeah, we'll see.
I know they made up in the last reunion.
They did, yeah.
And
They
look
did
how well that went.
Jennifer will never let it go.
Neither of them will, to be honest with you.
No?
Neither of them will. But I do like, even in this episode, when Margaret's like, if you don't ever let it go, if you keep looking backwards, you're never going to be able to look forward. That kind of applies to the same situation.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we'll see if Teresa and Joe can think about that post-wedding also.
To me, family is everything. You know that.
We'll see.
Well, I guess we don't have anything to talk about, so I just want to get into the episode.
Is there nothing to talk about? Is there nothing we've done that the listeners need to hear about?
I mean, last week we had such a fun weekend with the Salt Lake City housewives. We've kind of haven't really done a whole lot since then. I've been injured in the back. That's what we've done. I spent the whole weekend incapacitated.
Yeah, because your back went out.
Yeah.
Was thrown
Do y'all
out.
want to hear all about how exciting that was? That I couldn't stand, I couldn't sit, I couldn't lay, I couldn't do anything.
It's a hard
And be
life
comfortable.
for somebody with a weekend D. It's hard to carry that around.
It is. It hurts
back
your lower
problems.
back.
Yeah,
It messes up your lower back. And big boobs.
you do have big boobs.
I know, so...
Well, yeah, that was we had a great weekend. It was totally fun, very adventurous.
Not at all. Not at all.
I guess we should get into this week's episode. Foreign word.
Foreign word. Sláinte.
Saliva. Salami. Chantel.
Well, when we last were with the women in Ireland, they went from dinner to lunch, back to dinner. And now we're leaving dinner when Jennifer Aiden called Margaret a booger wolf. When Danielle tells Margaret in one breath, I'm just going by what people have said. And then in the next breath she says, but I don't judge you people on what I'm here to say.
I know. She doesn't know really what she's doing.
So they leave and Melissa Gorga steals her wine from the restaurant.
So I'm the bad guy.
She's gonna get arrested.
She's like, I ain't wasting this wine.
She's already trashed.
She is.
She's assaulting the women as she's walking by.
I love a drunk Melissa Gorga. Oh
Me
my
too.
God, it's so much fun. I love how flirty she is, especially flirty with the women. But when she couldn't say that word for good health, that was awesome. Salami. So the next morning, they're all getting down for breakfast, and I love Jen Fester's like, where's the booger wolf?
Where's the booger wolf?
So, where's the booger wolf?
Danielle is ready to, this is like their last day. She's ready to ride the wave of just getting along with everyone today.
She's worried there will be a fight, though.
Melissa shows up with laryngitis. She can't speak. She was just partying too much last night.
She was so loud. So funny.
So Paul's mom and some other family members, Paul's niece and Paul's sister, are coming over to visit at the castle. And I cannot believe that these women did not get dressed to meet Paul's family.
I don't think they knew about it until last minute.
No, I don't know. I don't know about that. Everything takes planning. Everything takes getting mic'd up. Everything takes getting the lights set up. I was disappointed.
Do you know how long it takes for them to get ready for the day? Do you think they could go down and have breakfast and then get ready in a half hour? No, they can't.
They could have put on regular clothes.
You are putting too much pressure on these women. They do not have to get dressed up for anybody.
The Beverly Hills women, I can guarantee you, wouldn't have been like that when they met.
Well, we ain't in Beverly Hills, are we?
Well, I think
we are in New Jersey.
I think they should have dressed to meet Paul's mom.
Well, now we're in Ireland. But
so Paul's mom's a little jokester, though.
She called her a hussy.
What would you do if you were walking through, doing the walk of shame out of someone's house and their mom's in the living room and called you a hussy?
But he absolutely was inside me. That is a fact. More than once.
I do like that it is now like a badge of honor.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, it's just kind of funny to say now.
But Paul's family is really, really close. Like, they're talking about, oh, thanks for taking care of Paul for us, Dolores, and things like that. And Danielle gets really, really choked up. She misses having a close family. I wonder how fresh this thing is with Danielle and her brother.
I don't think her brother's gotten married yet. Has he? I don't know.
I think so. I mean, I can't tell if it was years ago or if it was last year.
Yeah.
But Teresa's parents were really gave Melissa a hard time, kind of in a joking manner.
Well, yeah.
And Teresa's really nice about Melissa here for a minute.
It's called a stroke.
I was like, all right, Teresa, for saying something nice about Melissa, being good with your parents.
You can see her hairline is further back, so she's having a stroke.
Well, Dolores gets the charity calendar and gives a copy to Paul's mom.
She doesn't like it very much, but it looked like she liked Frank's.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if she loved Frank's photo or was making fun of Frank's photo.
I couldn't
tell. Like, this is your ex. Is you're like, hey, he's hot, or ew, gross, you were with him? I really couldn't tell from her expression. I guess old people just look the same.
I guess when you just don't have a libido anymore, probably. Like, you don't... Is that right? The right word? Like, if you don't have the...
Sex drive?
The sex drive?
What about it?
Like, when you're that old and you just see stuff like that, you're like, I'm not attracted to anything
well,
like
I said,
this
I couldn't tell. It looked like she might have been like, hubba hubba. I mean, I
don't
couldn't
know.
tell.
I don't know.
Well, in lieu of a bachelorette party with wieners all around, the ladies are going to go to a farm. So, they love...
I love it. It's funny that Jennifer is planning the day.
Yeah, well, I mean, each woman was, I think, responsible.
No, but she's planning the day for a farm. It just seems so out of character for her.
It is very much out of character, but she said that Teresa didn't want a big raucous wiener throwing bachelorette party, so she just did a Google of fun things to do. But a bachelorette party is called a hen party, and so this is
cute.
So yeah, it works. It works.
And they caught a bunch of cock.
Yeah, they did. Rachel mentions on the bus on the way to the farm, like, what a great trip this was. But she has to throw in a dig about being a rat.
Except for being called a rat. She will not back down about anything.
No, she won't. No, she
don't
won't.
care.
Rachel don't care.
Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me like that. Call me a rat.
She is small but mighty.
Yeah, mighty.
Small but mighty that Rachel is.
Might be a mouse, mighty mouse.
Oh, see?
Snap.
Oh, that's her tagline next season. You might call me a rat, but I'm a mighty mouse. Well, I think we might have mentioned in earlier episodes how pretty much all the women have said that this was their favorite cast trip ever until they went back and saw the footage of how much people were talking about each other.
Each other's backs, yeah.
Well, over at Causey Farm, this is Jen Aiden's surprise hen party. She's like, I didn't tell the women really what we were doing because I knew that no one would want to do it.
They're like, a farm, gross, dirt stuff? No. Animals? No.
Remember last season when they were doing this outdoor stuff and Teresa's like, I'm not into doing outdoor stuff. Mm-hmm. Like when they were doing the ropes and the truss things like that.
Yeah, and even right here, she's like, I don't do farms.
Yeah, she's like, no.
This is definitely not what I expected to be doing today.
So first they go to catch the cock.
Catch the cock.
Yeah, there's a lot of cock there.
I was like, this is my kind of show.
So much cock everywhere. There's a lot of cock there. There's different colors of cock.
Yeah.
Cock that ran fast, cock that was big, cock that was small.
Right.
Slow cock.
Cocks.
Lots of
Cocks galore.
Just stroke the cock gently.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Teresa goes in for the cock first and brings Melissa with her. I'm like, what is going on? Is this like I'm bringing Melissa because we're going to be close, or I'm bringing Melissa because I'm going to throw her in front of me? Like,
no, I'm bringing Melissa because I'm having a stroke that's just lasting all day.
Well, I mean, I guess Teresa can catch a cock with a stroke because she caught it first.
Well, you could catch a cock with a stroke.
I mean,
you could catch a cock paralyzed.
I've caught cocks without less.
I've done a lot worse and asked a lot less questions.
So, Danielle is not into animals in general, much less cocks. And Rachel and Jackie go in together, and Rachel cannot take it.
Listen, Rachel tried. She really did. She ran after it, but as soon as it turned around and flapped, she's like, no, it ran off. She's like, I'm done.
That cock is as big as me.
That cock attacked me.
Next is painting. And they're going to paint the story of Teresa's life.
What is this? Do they just repaint over everybody's, do they do this for every, group?
I don't know.
What kind of group activity is this?
Well, Teresa got really worked up because, she was afraid.
Melissa did too. A lot of these girls did.
But, even before the painting begun, Teresa was afraid that someone was going to put, Teresa behind bars.
That's would have been me. I would have been that. Remember when we went to jail? And then I put, a gravestone in the background?
But, I'm sure during this, happiest of season for her getting married and everything, and she even mentions that she just likes to kind of, compartmentalize that and not think about it as part of her life.
Well, it's hard to accept that part of your life, so it's best just to kind of mute it.
So to see her get really emotional really kind of made me feel emotional for her. And then her to have to go sit by herself while at least Peter brought her a puppy.
That's cute.
At least.
But what a cute... That was so sweet of that Peter guy. He saw that she was upset. He's like, there's puppies that were freshly born probably a while ago. So.
That would make me quit crying.
Oh, yeah. It would actually probably make me bawl harder, but for different reasons.
Okay, fair. But I hated that she had to go sit by herself. So, Melissa's painting shows her family coming from Italy, and Melissa, these women are all tired. Melissa in particular is hungover.
Yeah, it's the last day. These women are just exhausted, especially with living in that haunted house at night.
But just talking about family gets Melissa really emotional, gets Teresa
New Jersey's family.
They used to be such a happy family too.
If you have no family, you have nothing. You understand me? Family is everything.
Mm-hmm. Jackie's painting shows her family in their Montville home when the girls were little. Dolores painted Patterson Falls, where they grew up.
That's cute.
It was cute.
I like that.
Danielle and Margaret painted together. They painted the Wall of Success.
Yes, you better. Success.
So, it was like Teresa's bestsellers. Rachel Fuda painted Ray Boulevard. I mean, just a street sign. You get
Bay Boulevard. I mean, but that's where they met.
I know, but that was a nice way to
The
not have
street
to
is
be artistic.
significant where he stalked Teresa in that alley for like days at a time, and then finally just ran out in front of her and was just like, "Hey, what's up? My name's Louie.
Will you marry me?
I'm Louie. Peace and sound."
I don't know what that was. It sounded like Louis having an orgasm.
Oh, I am gonna drink some more.
All right, cheers. Jen Fessler painted Grease, where Louis proposed. And Jennifer Aiden, she did a really good job of painting Teresa flipping the table.
Did she?
I thought so. Listen, if no one told me, if someone just showed me that painting and told me a third grader painted it, I would go immediately, oh my God, that looks exactly like Teresa Giudice flipping the table.
That's cute.
100% she had Teresa's curly hair.
That's true.
Yeah, I knew I thought it was great. And that, some people, most people say New York put the Housewives on the map because, Orange County was new and it just needed some time.
Mm-hmm.
But New York, I think, put Housewives on the map for people who were going to love Housewives. But New Jersey, that table
made it
flip
pop culture.
Made it pop culture.
Because
agreed.
they made an episode on South Park directly about her doing that.
I mean, that's why I give Teresa the props, because that table flip.
I didn't know anything about
changed
Housewives except for that moment.
Seriously, people who had never even heard of the Real Housewives.
People that still to this day don't even watch Housewives. They're like, oh, that one where that woman flipped the table.
I mean, it really changed history. So that's why, even though I find Teresa oftentimes deplorable, that's why I just respect her as, really being a significant part in why Housewives are as big as they are today.
Listen, we're coming out with prostitution whore pizza. Prostitution whore pizza palace.
Yes.
Just
and all of our pizza is going to be made with the skinny Italian pizza ovens.
And instead of a bell saying it's ready, it's Teresa saying prostitution whore.
Yes.
Yes.
I support
We're
it.
doing this.
Teresa going, love, love, love.
Love, love, love.
No, that's when they leave. That's the door coming out and
Yes.
the doorbell.
like in I think it's Long John Silver's, they want you to ring the bell if you got good service.
Yes.
On the way out of the prostitution whore pizza palace, you hit a button and where it goes, love, love, love.
Love, love, love.
Don't burst my love bubble.
Well, Teresa gets really emotional because she's missing family. She really... I don't understand this really at all. She wants Antonia, Gina, Joey, Melissa, and everyone to complete the picture. But what is it that she wants? She doesn't want them to be in the wedding. I'm assuming
She just wants them there.
I'm assuming they've all been invited to the wedding.
I thought they already were invited.
So what is this extra thing that she is... What is it? What is this extra thing that she's trying to say here that's different than what has already been said and done? What's missing?
And even when whoever it was says, "Are you saying you want them to be in the wedding?"
No.
Teresa's just like, "No, that's not what I'm saying." And I'm very confused as to what she's saying.
And again, if I just maybe they weren't invited to the wedding and we're not getting that, but I just assumed.
No, they were, because
it's Joe and
earlier
Melissa.
Joe said he's trying to push it so that they don't go to the wedding.
Well, no, I mean the kids.
Oh, the kids. Oh,
The
they
kids.
had to have been invited.
I'm assuming.
I don't
So
know.
I really don't know what Teresa's asking for here. Well, anywho.
That brain tumor is just pushing on her on that wrong center, the pleasure center in her brain.
Well, Peter takes them to a surprise activity, and it is quite a lovely, lovely picnic. Mm-hmm. And then, again, we're going to go straight from a picnic to dinner coming tonight with the whiskey tasting, which count me in.
I'm wondering if, the drives are really long in between food. shots because
Well,
there's not a
they
lot
film,
of in between.
they film for hours at a meal.
At a
anyway.
meal, yeah.
They can film 5 hours.
I'm just
for
wondering how far of a drive it is from each place because they're in Ireland and they live in a castle.
I would say it's mostly just about how long it takes to film.
Okay.
I mean, not that they don't have a haul back to the castle for sure. Teresa has a lot of wedding stuff for next week, and then we find out that Louis has invited Bill Aiden to be part of the wedding party. Like, y'all, this is 2 weeks before the wedding. What? Who changes their wedding party 2 weeks like this? Like, we've invited Dolores and Jennifer and now Bill. How do we get the dresses and the tuxedos and everything?
Because Louis talked her into it.
It's weird. It's weird that it's 2 weeks before the wedding.
It's not weird. It's Louis trying to take a dig at them, knowing that it's going to create some kind of discord. But he talked Teresa into it. I guarantee you Louis talked her into it. Louis is not a good guy.
I mean, I understand that Jennifer and Bill and Louis and Teresa are like BFFs. They spend an exceptional amount of time together.
But why weren't they invited in the first place?
It's weird. 2 weeks. 2 weeks before the wedding.
And Teresa she keeps saying the same stuff over and over. And she did this at that barbecue in the beginning of the season where she's just like, I don't have family anymore. It's nice to be appreciated in my love. She always says that every chance that she gets.
Yeah.
And she acts like she's not trying to make a dig at anything, but she's saying a dig at every's at Joe specifically.
Well, according to Jennifer
And
Aiden
Melissa.
on Watch What Happens Live afterwards, if you know Teresa, she's not being specifically meaning that. She's just talking about, she's lost all of her mom and her dad.
Excuses.
That could be true.
Again, we said last week that Teresa, she speaks with such intention that she likes to pretend it doesn't. She's not intending,
Listen, she just lives sentence to sentence.
Well,
syllable to syllable. She don't even know what she's saying.
Danielle's getting really triggered by this wedding situation with her brother, and she really wants Teresa and Melissa just take their guard down. Nothing matters other than family.
How come Danielle's not directing this more at Teresa? I don't understand how people in this group can't see how messed up Teresa is. And how mean she is to Joe and Melissa constantly. How is it that everybody else can see it, but not this group of friends? Is it because they're afraid of Teresa?
Well, I mean, if you look at social media as much as I do, people are very divided. There's a huge population of people who who are very much Team Teresa and feels that Melissa is the shady
I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
but I will say that whenever there's a poll on Watch What Happens Live, Teresa always loses.
Yeah, she always loses.
Always loses.
So that's what I don't get. It's just ridiculous.
Well, before the ladies go to the spa, why don't we take a little break and refill our drinks?
And take a bear spa. Oh my goodness,
But I'm the drunk. You're drunk.
And we're back.
We're back in the bog.
We're heading to the bar.
Back in the bog.
The natural exfoliant of Ireland.
Without cow poo.
100% cow poo free.
100. That's on the label.
It's on the label now. Now 100%
cow poo free.
Yeah.
Well, they jump in. Dolores is the first one. When she's like,
Dolores.
She's like, y'all, do you know some of the crazy stuff I've done? And not even ask a single question about it.
Amen, sister.
I'm like, well, you get it, Dolores. Me too. But when he's like, it's good for your skin, Jen Fester puts it on her face. And it just looks a little bit too much like cow poo for me to be comfortable
If
with.
nobody said anything about cow poo before, would you have thought there was cow poo in there?
I don't know. We're on a farm.
I haven't seen a single cow since we've been on this
farm. There could be cock poo.
Cock poo?
There could be cock poo.
They ain't wild chickens. That ain't wild cock running around
They
there.
ain't wild chickens. You're a wild chicken.
Yeah, I'm a wild cock.
You are a wild cock. Tell me
you.
about it.
Just stroke the cock gently.
But Teresa and Melissa, they're like, she's like, I don't do farms. But they're hesitant, but they even jump in together.
Whatever brain aneurysm Teresa is having, this is the best thing that's ever happened to her.
Right? I love it.
She's adventurous and she's wanting to include Melissa.
Yeah.
That's what it needed to be in the beginning.
There are a few older seasons when they do decide to get along and it's fun to watch. Mm-hmm. Unlike like Ultimate, and then on Ultimate Girls Trip, they just avoided each other the whole time.
Yeah.
Well, they can't wait to get a shower, and Margaret can't wait to get Joe B to wash her naughty parts.
Dirty.
Okay, so Joe is having the guys over.
So apparently, Frank has a cannabis company?
Yeah.
And what? Joe, what's up?
Frank, you mean?
I mean, Frank. What's up?
Well, I'm sure he can't ship it to
No, he
Utah.
can, but he can fly us to New Jersey for a tasting.
Yes, Frank, that's the least you could do.
Listen, I am so jealous of Joe Gorga smoozing on Frank's bicep and playing with his vein on his bicep.
Well, let's not jump ahead. But what I do want to talk about is Lexi living with Margaret and Joe. Affair on the horizon.
Don't be a drama queen.
Do you think?
I just because it's happening so many other like Vanderpump Rules and everything else, and just because it makes, it's just too easy, and they're all so cuddly and fun, and they're spending time. I didn't like it.
Are they cuddly and fun?
I mean, I don't think they're making out, but they're just close. They're close. They're all Margaret and Joe and Lexi are all close friends.
I mean, they're long friends.
No, there's going to be an affair.
Wow, you putting that in the air already? Jeez.
Well,
I feel like Joe really loves Margaret, and Joe.
I do too.
And I don't think Lexi's really into Joe. I'm sorry.
I don't really know that there's going to be an affair, but that was my very first reaction. I was like, oh, this speaks Sandoval and Raquel all over it.
Oh my goodness.
What the does that have to do with anything?
You're so scandalous.
Well, listen, Vanderpump Rules has rocked us all. We don't know what to believe anymore.
I need Vanderpump Rules to catch up to the lie.
We're there. Just last week, James' girlfriend says, I saw the
Yes,
death
I
of the
know.
Abbey. Katie says it.
Yes.
So tonight's the night.
I need it to happen because I can't handle this Raquel stuff and knowing what we know, but nobody else knows. It's too hard to work.
It is.
All right, back to Ireland.
Danielle calls Nate. He's on his way to guys' night. Danielle fills him in on the day and how Teresa and Melissa made her think about her brother a lot.
Yeah.
Margaret calls Joe.
Joe.
And I love what Margaret's wearing, like that ruffled tuxedo blouse.
Oh, and she looks fierce. You can only see the top of her from the phone, but she is standing with some fierceness.
I'm sweating under every crevice.
Yeah, she looks amazing.
I love it.
And this is when we find out that Lexi is having an affair with Joe B.
Oh my gosh, you can't say that.
And Margaret tells them about Bill Aiden being in the wedding. And they're like, what is going on? They're like, this is not like their first wedding. How many people do they need in the wedding party? All right, well, the women gather for the whiskey tasting, and most of them look stunning. Mm-hmm. I don't love Melissa's dress here, that two-colored...
No, I don't like it.
But I will say, in her defense, I've seen a lot of other celebrities wear it, so I think it's just a matter of...
What, like Sporty Spice in the 90s or something?
No, not that long ago. So I think it's just a matter of us not liking the dress, not necessarily the dress being in bad taste.
Well, let's ask our listeners.
Call in. Ask our listeners.
You guys are scaring me.
Back in Jersey, Frank's got gummies. He's got flour. Joe Gorga doesn't smoke weed, though. Because he sees things. He sees things when he's at the carnival.
Sorry, but weed isn't a hallucinogen.
Well, to Joe Gorga it is.
I think it makes him horny.
I get very horny.
I
And I think he could switch both ways when he's high.
Well, oh my lord, maybe you can switch both ways when you're high.
No.
So Louis isn't coming, and I'm glad.
Yeah, I'm so glad Louis not coming.
I don't want to see the strife.
I don't want to see his puffed up face.
I don't want to see Louis.
Big red
in
face.
General. Yeah.
I don't want that bad energy while I'm smoking.
Poor Joe Gorga. He's in a real bad place about his sister. He has not recovered from the reunion last season. I don't know that he will for years to come. He is mad about this Bill Aiden being in the wedding thing. You're an afterthought.
And he's like, I don't want you to feel bad about it, but you are an afterthought. And I think everybody knows that. Like, yeah, you know she didn't give a lot of thought into
It's
this.
like, maybe the mailman's next.
I know. That was good.
I
thought the mailman was next.
But you know these guys, as soon as they get together, it's time for shots.
Shots.
Then we don't have to wait for everyone to get there. Shots are happening. But now that legal is weed in New Jersey, which I didn't know.
Legal is weed in New Jersey?
Now that weed is legal in New
that
Jersey.
was awesome.
Hey, what do you think? I'm gonna walk around stoned all day?
Frank's like, I'm eating, sleeping, drinking, smoking.
He's like, I feel a lot better.
And Joe B looks like he might have lit a joint before in his life.
Yeah, he was the first one to light up.
But Frank, what's it called when you get, is it a shotgun? Frank shotguns Joe right in the mouth, and 35 minutes later, Joe Gorga's head is spinning.
I would say that I'm like, that Joe is definitely a lightweight, but weed nowadays is so potent that, yeah, he's totally blitzed just from one
he's
hit.
like cuddling up
He
on
is,
Frank.
and he's like rubbing
He's
his
playing with the
vein.
vein in his
I was
arm.
like, just make out.
But as soon as they get the munchies, Joe B is like, guess what? Margaret had Lexi, my lover, get us this food truck.
Not her lover, but that is the most baller shit ever. I mean, you should sleep with her for having that food truck. That is baller as hell. I want to be that rich where I get so blitzed out with my friends, and then we're like, well, let's go out to the food truck. Everything's free on
Doesn't
it.
that
Just
sound like
eat.
a It does sound like
It
a
has
blast.
burgers, tacos,
Yes.
nachos. It's got
Bring
candy.
it
It's got
to
chips. It's got
me.
soda. It's got Gatorade.
Bring it to me.
Beef jerky.
I love it. Sometimes when I go to work events, they'll have like a variety of food trucks out for during lunch. I'm like, yes, that's my favorite.
Gimme more.
Yes. Well, Bill Aiden suggests to Joe Gorga that maybe they need to get high on weed to talk to Teresa because it brings your guard down.
I don't want to see Teresa on weed.
I mean, maybe we do.
I don't want to see Louis on weed.
Maybe she'll be the version of Teresa that Louis wants her to be. Zen tree.
I don't like drama.
Well, Joe Gorga just really, he can't get past the fact that Bill Aiden is in the wedding, and he also knows that Teresa was talking about Antonia while Teresa's 4 daughters talk about Joe all the time. Mm-hmm. And then Joe loses his train of thought.
Yeah, he's just like, well, whatever. But, man, Fuda.
John Fuda.
John Fuda calls out Danielle's husband for calling his wife a rat. But this is why you can't have a Real House Husbands of anything, because first of all, their fights aren't fights, and this argument right here, if you put battle music behind it, it would be like the most epic start of an argument. But that fizzles out so quickly, and they just start laughing.
Yeah.
I'm like, these guys are just drunk, and it's hilarious.
New Jersey needs a lot of people are divided also on if the New Jersey guys are welcome on the show, and I'm like, I think they need the levity of it.
The levity, yeah.
Because these women fight hard and these women fight intense.
And to be honest, it's about family, so you kind of have to know their immediate families and boyfriends.
Yeah. Well, Jennifer Aiden back in Ireland, she's getting drunk really quickly with Andrew, the whiskey expert.
I found out the hard way to not finish your whiskey drinks when you're at a whiskey tasting.
Y'all, a few years ago, back in Greenville, South Carolina, Hunter and I went to this thing called Whiskey After Dark, where you pay, it was a pretty low fee. It was like $60-something.
And they were going to feed you too, but we did not eat anything. That was mistake number one.
You get to try over 200 different bourbons.
Bourbons that are like
whiskey,
$1,000 a bottle.
Yeah, like crazy stuff. And, in this whiskey tasting here in Ireland, the women sip it and then pour the rest out.
Yes, that's what you're supposed to do.
Two Bears in Greenville, South Carolina, they drink the whole sample.
I've never been to something like that, so I had no idea what the etiquette was.
I
thought finish your drink.
Me either.
I don't remember, probably after the fifth. We went, probably after the fifth little tasting, I blacked out.
Well, I remember you making out with one of our friends in the middle of a restaurant.
I don't remember going to a restaurant. I don't remember making out with any friends. I don't remember how we got home. But don't just taste it. It's a taste, not a drinking.
I love whiskey.
Well, you and Jennifer Aiden are about on the same page here.
She's like falling over in her chair. She's like blacking out for a second and then waking up.
I know. Totally. Everyone seems to have enjoyed the trip except for Danielle, which makes me sad for Danielle. Because literally everyone did seem to truly enjoy the trip.
And this isn't the first big trip with the new girls, is it? Is this the first big trip?
They've only been to the shore, I think.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame that... you're in Ireland. What a great place.
I know. I would
have loved to have enjoyed it for a little bit. She couldn't get past.
Compartmentalize the drama to enjoy the fun parts. But she addresses Rachel and Margaret, and she's like asking where they are in their relationship. And it gets heated really quickly, only because Danielle goes from 0 to 100 in a flip. Mm-hmm. It wasn't meant to be that heated, but Danielle flipped a switch. But... I don't know. It seems like most of this is just a break in understanding. Like, Danielle wants everyone to know that she and Rachel were just talking crap. Like, they were just talking about what they've heard other people say.
Yeah.
That she wasn't intentionally trying to make Rachel intimidated by Margaret and her arsenal.
Yeah.
But for some reason,
they were both communicating about it. Like, we all get it. But they just can't quite land on it because Margaret's just like, you're just believing what other people say, and that's your character.
But you know what? It would be nice if Rachel would say, "Oh, Danielle, I know that you weren't like trying to really like defame Margaret. I know that we were just." If Rachel would just say that too, then this wouldn't be a thing.
Mm-hmm. But no, she's like, "Well, you did say it," and she's trying to say, "We both said it."
And Danielle's like, "Well, you know what? I've heard a lot of things."
Laura. Brings up Laura.
So nervous here.
I think it sobered Jennifer up real quick too.
It
sobered up quick.
I thought for sure she was getting ready to spill the beans.
I thought she was going to say it.
Because these women aren't eating much, they're not sleeping, and they're drinking straight up whiskey right now.
But I also think that Danielle knows how damaging this could be, and she doesn't want to be that person to do it in this new group.
Yeah, especially not your
But she never should have. But she did say... She heard it from that Jennifer did tell her.
And plus, you don't want to be the Margaret from last season.
Mm-hmm.
If your team, Danielle is team Jen Aiden right now. So she sees Margaret as the person who said this horrible thing about Jen and Bill and ruined their reputation and made their kids feel, sad.
Yeah. But nobody's saying that Jennifer Aiden for months and on social media was tearing her, Margaret down about everything. And she was relentless and she would not stop. So... Mark, go for it, Margaret. Spill that infidelity.
And Margaret's just like, I'm just so glad that everyone is so obsessed with me.
I love that people are so obsessed with me that they talk about me nonstop.
But Jennifer instantly gets upset about that because she thinks everybody's obsessed with her.
Oh, well.
But no, nobody's obsessed with you, honey. But you kind of are.
And Danielle's like, I can forgive, but I can't forget. And Margaret's like, well, then you're never going to move forward in life. It was a harsh way that Margaret said it, but it's true.
It's 100% true. It's 100% true. If you can never start with a clean slate, even with family, you will never get over anything.
Yeah, you're going to have problems until the day you die.
You have to forgive and forget a lot of times. And I know what she's trying to say. You could forgive, but you just don't forget what happened.
Right.
But she's not meaning it such a harsh
Yeah,
like, shutting off
again,
term.
these women are slurring through this whole scene.
I mean, they're all still drunk from. I mean, they're drunk right. Like they're so drunk from this whiskey tasting, and they're not used to whiskey.
No, except for Dolores. She loves
Yeah,
whiskey.
Dolores. I was surprised Dolores didn't say anything at the end of this dinner, like her mom thing. Like, all right, y'all have ruined the last dinner. We're going to bed.
I think Dolores, by this point, is expecting at least some outburst at a meal.
Yeah.
Well, after all the slurring is over, the women, go to their room, and the episode ends with Danielle sobbing in her room. Mm-hmm. And again, I hate that for her. I feel like all of the women except for Danielle are leaving Ireland feeling mostly positive, but we had to deal with the drama that we always deal with on Housewives. We expected that.
Yeah.
And if Danielle really didn't get to feel that same experience, if she's worried about what the world is going to think about her based on what these women are saying, then that makes me sad for her.
Yeah.
It also makes me sad that so many of you are not following us on our social media. On Facebook and Instagram, we are The Real Housebears. On Twitter, we are Real Housebears. And you can email us at therealhousebears@gmail.com.
Y'all, you can buy some merch.
Yes, you can.
It's realhousebears.redbubble.com. Did it good? Right?
Did it good.
Did it good. Did it good.
Did it
I
good.
did it good. You can also watch us on YouTube and Spotify for podcasters. And you can listen to us wherever podcasts are listed.
Streamed, played.
Heard.
Yeah.
And I don't think we have any new reviews.
We do
You
not.
know what? I'm not even
looked-
going to check, so.
I did check.
Well, you booger wolves better start doing some
Oh,
stuff and
no,
leaving
not a booger wolf.
some GD
Y'all-
reviews so we can make somebody Real House Bears famous.
Y'all just got called booger wolves. It's on now.
I'm going to tie my hair up in a ponytail and I'm going to fight everybody right now.
You're going to look like a booger wolf.
I am very hairy. I think that was one of the things on the terms, was a nasty, hairy,
You're
rude
too
woman or
beautiful to
something.
be a booger wolf. And y'all are too beautiful. We'll miss you until next week.
We do love all our fans. I love you guys. You guys are not booger wolves. You all are beautiful creatures.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
I am hold on, let me. Hold on. Okay, now.
Are you being tried?
Everything is trying me today.
Well, try to do a sound check.
Sound check, 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 check. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2.